I am not exaggerating at all when I say that what we're about to look at today is officially the worst gaming article that I have ever had the displeasure of reading. This is so bad. I don't even have words for this. Well, actually, I do have words for this, so let's just get into it. This is going to be a video of all time. So this article is on the Mary Sue. Go figure. What do you mean, who's picking Chikorita? The Pokemon fandom's sexism is showing, and I'm still picking my girl in Legends ZA. Okay, some context. Pokemon Legends ZA was just given a new trailer like last week or so. The game looks like absolute slop. But yeah, one of the starters in this game is in fact Chikorita, which is kind of weird because there was already another Generation 2 starter in this game. It's a really weird lineup of starters. As you can see, you have Tepig, Totodile, and of course Chikorita. Yeah, I'm not digging this starter lineup. I like Totodile, but yeah, the other two can just kick rocks, I'm sorry. But yeah, this headline is abysmal. So first of all, we're gonna read the article, but yeah, the headline is so bad. The Pokemon fandom's sexism is showing. First of all, Chikorita has like an 80% chance to be a male. So why are you bringing gender into this? Actually, let me just fact check myself. Where do you see? Okay, yeah, 87.5% male. So immediately this headline makes absolutely zero sense. But yeah, let's just get into this disaster of an article. In light of Pokemon Day 2025, I was thrilled to see Chikorita revealed as one of the returning starters in Pokemon Legends ZA. You have low standards then. Then I remembered people hate Chikorita. Okay, here's my opinion. Chikorita isn't a horrible Pokemon or anything, but it's just a boring design. To me, it literally just looks like a green thumb. Like compared to the other starters from Gen 2, Cyndaquil and Totodile, Chikorita is just so underwhelming. Anyway, back to the article. Like to the point of crashing out on the internet, one user on TikTok asked, literally, who's picking Chikorita? Okay, so another problem I have with this article is like, this person just like floods the article with a ton of different TikTok videos. I get it, like you gotta have sources in your articles, but like I am not watching these TikToks. I'm gonna read the article. But yeah, in regards to this quote, literally who's picking Chikorita, how is this crashing out on the internet? It's literally just asking a question. Originally from the Johto region, the grass-type starter Chikorita is back for the release of Legends ZA. It's joined by fellow Johto partner, the water-type Totodile, which again is a stupid decision. There should not be two starters from the same region, and the Unova region's fire starter Tepig. Altogether, this is a ragtag trio of Pokemon that have gone overlooked since their regional debuts. I actually completely disagree with that. Totodile was, I'm pretty sure he was considered to be the best starter in Gen 2. I know that Cyndaquil is like the coolest design, but you can like solo the entire game with just a evolved form of Totodile. Yeah, people like Totodile, I think, and are now getting a fair chance to shine as we head back to Lumio City and Kalos. Off topic, but why does this game have to take place entirely in a city? The Kalos region is such a beautiful region of Pokemon, so why are we locking the entire game in Lumio City? That is so stupid. You'd think this were cause for celebration, right? Not even the possibility of Mega Evolution or a new regional evolution is enough to stop the Chikorita hate. Since it was introduced back in the Gen 2 titles Gold and Silver, and became a main member of Ash's team in the anime, Chikorita and her iconic leaf ponytail have been the subjects of criticism and bad faith debates. Alright, let me just look this up. Okay, so I just watched some videos on YouTube, and really the main criticism I've seen of Chikorita is that it's a really bad Pokemon competitively for Gen 2 gyms, which is absolutely true and a valid criticism. A leaf ponytail being a subject of criticism and bad faith debates? The hell are you talking about? Held to the same double standards as the girls and LGBTQIA+ fans who've stuck by her side all these years. What the f*** are you talking about? What does Chikorita have to do with girls and gay people? What are you even trying to say? Like, why bring this up at all? It has no relevance. Is this just to like garner sympathy points or something? Like, I'm just saying, please tell me this article is just rage bait. If it is, This is hilarious. I don't even care if I'm being rage baited. This is just so entertaining that it's worth my time. Probably not rage bait since it's from the Mary Sue. I can only imagine what type of opinions they have. Let's continue. Surprise, surprise, people still hate Chikorita in 2025 because it's a bad starter. If it's not a complaint about Chikorita's girly or lackluster appearance, it's about her average stats and poor performance in her native region. Funny considering its final evolution, Meganium, is comparable to fan favorites like the Kalos fossil Pokemon Aurorus. Oh no, you are not comparing a starter Pokemon to a fossil Pokemon. Listen, it's been a while since I played through the Kalos region, but this is a horrible comparison and I'm gonna explain why. So, the choices between starter Pokemons are very important because they often have great base stats compared to Pokemon you can just find around the wild. And in the Kalos region, which was Pokemon X and Y, one of the big criticisms about that game was that they basically hand you your team. Because not only do you get to pick starters at the beginning of the game, you also get to pick Generation 1 starters a few hours in, because the professor gives you one of them. Then, a few hours after that, you get a free Mega Lucario. So most people who play through X and Y don't even need Aurorus to do well in their playthrough. I have never even used Aurorus in any of my Gen 6 playthroughs. Meanwhile, in Generation 2, it is much more important that you choose with the right starter. And just about as useful as Charizard if we're strictly talking home games. It is a very common talking point in the Pokemon community that Charizard is technically the worst starter in Generation 1. However, Charizard gets a pass because it's one of the greatest Pokemon designs in history. The Chikorita evolution line is not one of the best designs. It doesn't really resonate with a lot of people. If you like Chikorita, that's completely fine. Like, it is kind of a cute Pokemon. But compared to Charizard, like what are we doing? Why are we comparing Meganium to Charizard? Meanwhile, Charizard remains not only one of the most beloved Pokemon of all time, but also revered for its apparent strength. So I understand that Chikorita can improve if it gets a Mega Evolution, and if the Kalos region is more forgiving of her statistics. I shouldn't say her, sorry. This article is brainwashing me. But yeah, it's true that Chikorita can improve from being in this game, but it's still not gonna fix that Chikorita just isn't as appealing as a character design-wise than a literal fire-breathing dragon with 2 separate Mega Evolutions. A Pokemon that has also appeared in Smash Bros. It's just delusional to think that Chikorita deserves the same notoriety as Charizard. While design and stat preferences are subjective, stats are not really subjective. What's especially silly about furthering this narrative is that the thinly veiled misogyny that's always surrounded the Chikorita line likely won't hold very much weight soon. Why do feminists always have to bring misogyny into this? Nobody was talking about gender. Nobody. You're literally creating problems. With the next Legends title in the works, we can safely assume we'll see each returning starter receive a new form. I can only hope, but we still haven't seen confirmation of that. Pretty concerning considering the game already looks like slop. Whether a regional final evolutionary form or Mega Evolution. Either way, stat boosts and design touch-ups are all but guaranteed, answering big complaints. Okay, so you acknowledge that these are complaints, but then you also, blame it on misogyny. In the meantime, singling out Chikorita and bashing its stats feels needlessly hateful, and honestly, pretty sexist and homophobic. What? Okay, so this person's basically saying that because Chikorita is male most of the time, but kinda maybe looks feminine, that means if you don't like the design, you are homophobic. The mental gymnastics to make it to this conclusion. How did you become a journalist? Actually, I know the answer to that one. To those asking who's planning on picking Chikorita, I am. Congratulations. You are so brave. Thank you for virtue signaling to all of us. You are such a virtuous Pokemon player that is also going to be paying Game Freak to make slop. I'm tired of debating one of my favorite starters' viability. Dude, nobody would care if it's your favorite starter if you just wouldn't blame everybody else on being bad people because of it. Though it may seem like a bunch of random guys came out of the woodwork to tell everyone how disappointed they are that Chikorita is back, there are just as many fans eager to choose the grass partner for another adventure. Doubt it. Maybe it's not that much? Wait, but you just said that there's just as many fans. You just contradicted the literal last sentence you wrote. Oh my goodness, dude. I don't actually think I can do this anymore. Let's see, how long does this go for? Okay, I think this is the last paragraph. If you're a Chikorita, Bayleaf, and Meganium fan, knowing the line could be getting a makeover soon is more than a little nerve-wracking. We all want to see her at her best. After all, with the first look trailer released on Pokemon Day 2025, some have pointed out that Chikorita will now have access to the fairy-type move Disarming Voice in Legend ZA, implying she might gain a dual grass and fairy typing with a potential new form. Please, Game Freak, do right by our girl. I too hope Chikorita gets a new form. I also hope people like you stop being a bitch about this. Anyway, that's gonna do it for today. Let me know what you think about this article. It is fucking dog shit, but I'll see you later.